Testing, 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. Today is the 15th of November. It's 11 a.m. and we have another packed show for you today. I'm going to try and be a little bit more upbeat than I was yesterday. Yesterday I was listening to myself back on the stream and I sounded like the world was about to end. So today I am going to be a lot more happier than I was yesterday, simply because I think that the markets warrant a little bit of positivity at this time in the morning. Good morning to Hidden Agendas. Good morning to Giuliano. Good morning to you. We've had lots of people messaging this morning. The spam bots don't seem to be as active this morning. So Uche Keys, good morning to the various different users. Good morning to Pretty Boy. Abotito, good morning. Remember, now the bots aren't chatting as much as they are. Make sure to drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching. Let me know what you're up to on this fine Wednesday morning. It is hump day after all. And I think Bitcoin enjoyed its hump day a little bit too much yesterday. We had a little bit of a bonk and a bounce. So we're going to go through that in a little bit. First of all, we're going to go through the CPI news that came out yesterday. We're going to look at what Cathie Wood has said about the total crypto market valuation. We're going to take a look at the path to a $100 Solana. We're going to take a look at Celestia. I've mentioned this a couple of times on the stream. I am going to take a look at it today. I have been promising a video. I haven't made it yet, but I am going to get there. After that, and something which is quite close to my heart because I make YouTube videos, is YouTube AI. YouTube have plans to deal with AI and how they're going to deal with it. And finally, we're going to finish off with some Disney NFT news. They have just launched a marketplace and we're going to take a look at it. Because as far as I was concerned, Vive or Veve was going to be the Disney marketplace. So what on earth is going on there? And if that isn't enough, we are going to finish with the quiz at about 11:45. We do the quiz mainly for the platform, the crypto exchanges that we stream on. We don't tend to keep the YouTube stream up and running during that because they can't really participate. So, with all that being said, good morning to you all. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Proxy. I have dropped a red envelope for you. One thing I need to say, I'm going to be dropping red boxes and red envelopes during the stream. I didn't get my refund back last night of the red envelopes. I dropped them. I have to allocate a certain amount of crypto. The crypto that isn't claimed gets returned to me. It hasn't been. So the red envelopes are going to be very small on that platform today. I do apologise. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just waiting for it to come back. The red boxes will be dropped probably in about 10 minutes time. I want to get through some news first and then we'll drop some more boxes. First of all, the market is down almost 2% in the last 24 hours, but we are still at $1.38 trillion. It's still bullish. We are still in the bullish range. We are pre-halving. Everything is looking good. The volume is up 8.5%. Volume tends to go up when there is a drop or a spike in the market. It doesn't really do an awful lot during the crabbing weeks, crabbing days. 66 billion volume. Bitcoin dominance has fallen dramatically. It's now under 51%. It's down to 50.7%. What does that mean for those of you that are new to crypto? Bitcoin is half of the total value of crypto. Its dominance. So it's 700 billion of a $1.38 trillion market cap. So it's just over half. That's what it means for those of you that have never heard that before. Ethereum dominance still 17.4%, still ticking along quite nicely. Fear and greed, which I never mention on here. Fear and greed is at 71. It's pretty high for fear and greed. So what has happened with Bitcoin? We're at 35,800. Ethereum has dropped below $2,000. The gainers over the last 24 hours, DYDX has absolutely smashed it, as has Celestia, PancakeSwap, Rune, Casper, Aave, Lido are all up. I'm very glad about Aave. I hold Aave in my $15,000 portfolio, which I'm still to make a video about, and I haven't done yet. 24-hour losers, not really a lot down here. Ton's down a little bit. BitGet, Immutable X is down a little bit. Again, these aren't massive drops over the last 24 hours, especially if you look at some of the returns over the last month. Immutable X is up 106%. This, of course, is launching a game very soon, so that price is probably going to be pumping in anticipation of the game. So overall, even though we've had somewhat of a retracement, I don't consider us to be in bearish territory. We're still bullish. We've had a small retracement, and if you've been watching the show for the last couple of days, I have kind of predicted what's happened. So we're going to go through that anyway in a minute, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on the one bit of news that has caused all this turmoil in the market, and that is the CPI data came out in America last night, or should I say yesterday, depending on where you are. Bitcoin loses out on the post-CPI rally as stocks and gold soar while cryptos fall. So this is the news that the CPI data came out and was less than expected. So inflation is coming down more than people expect. And this is great news because in terms of purchasing power, in terms of revenue, in terms of getting the economies of the world back on track, we need inflation to be under control. As we've said many times before, Chairman Powell, he has been putting interest rates up faster than at any point in the last 80 years. There is a lag on the effect of interest rates on economies. It can take 12 to 18 months for that to actually kick into the market. So what's happened now is we are seeing the result of this absolutely unbelievable pump in interest rates. It has crippled the inflation rate. If you go to Trueflation, so for those of you that have any interest whatsoever in inflation, there is a website. I've made a video about it quite a few months ago. I'm in their Telegram group. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. What it does is it looks at the inflation of two countries. It looks at the UK and it looks at America. So what you can do here is you can look at the UK inflation rate, for example, and it will tell you what the percentage is reported by the government. It will tell you what the actual percentage is. So if we go to the US, for example, you will see what effect Chairman Powell has had on inflation. He has brought it down from nearly 8% in November last year. It cratered at 2.1% in June, and it's been coming up slightly ever since. Bear in mind that this tends to happen when inflation comes down an awful lot. It has a bounce at the bottom, and that's because people start to feel like they have more money to spend, pushes demand up, and that then has a smaller impact on inflation. So what that means is you can't suddenly just cut all the interest rates, because that will allow people to spend too much money and push inflation back up. So you have to keep a lid on it for a short while to get people, basically to get people used to not having money. So that was a little bit of a detour into Trueflation. Go and check out Trueflation. It is a very handy website because inflation is one of the biggest impacts on the prices of crypto, the prices of stocks, the prices of bonds. So back to the article. CPI came in lower than expected. Gold went up, stocks went up, but Bitcoin didn't. We mentioned last week or the week before that Bitcoin has decoupled from the stock market. Bitcoin has been on a tear all year. We are up over 110% now, I think, for the year. And when that happens, we're going to start to work outside of what the stock market works. So as we run and the stock market lags behind, at some point the stock market is going to catch up. And last night, I believe something in the region of $800 billion flowed into the stock market. Now, where did that money come from? it is very apparent that some of it came from the crypto market because we saw a correction, and it was a fairly sharp correction. And when that correction kicked in, it caused the longs to be liquidated. And when you long shorts, or whether you liquidate longs or shorts, it has a fairly big and fairly dramatic effect on the market, and you see these huge spikes, which we're going to look at in a minute. That's what happened yesterday. People took money out of crypto to put back into cheap stocks, which are now basically on sale. Crypto lost out. It might not have lost out by an awful lot, but it did lose out, and that's why we saw this sudden retraction from where we were. But if you look at what I was saying for the last week and a half, we've had bearish divergence on Bitcoin now for over a week. We needed to clear that away. We needed the RSI to come down. We needed the price to maybe either taper off or correct slightly, which we've done. So this isn't necessarily the end of the world. It's not the end of the mini bull run that we're in at the minute. So don't worry too much about it. Now, what we're going to do now we know why the prices have come down. We're going to take a look at where a fairly respected person in the crypto world believes that the crypto market is going to go. So we've looked at the negative, we've looked at the reasons for the slight correction. And again, I don't think it's anything to worry about. It was an opportunity to sell crypto when you've made a huge profit in the last 10 months. You've sold some, you've bought cheap stocks. What's going to happen when those stocks go up? They're going to take profit and put it back into crypto. There isn't enough long-term holders in Bitcoin to keep the price up, but we're going to go through that again whenever we speak about ETFs. So let's have a look at what Cathie Wood has got to say. Now, Cathie Wood is the CEO of ARK Invest, which invests in companies like Tesla. It's had Coinbase stocks. It's invested in MicroStrategy. So she is all in on tech, if you like. And she believes the crypto market will explode to 25 trillion in 2030. Now we are, if you forget the rest of this year, we're 6 years away. 6 years away from 25 trillion. And if you look, we're at 1.4 trillion. So she's expecting a 15x, 16x between now and 2030 in the market. It is very bullish. I'm not going to say I disagree with her, but it's incredibly bullish what she's predicting. The ARK Invest CEO described the price ramifications for the crypto market as institutions increasingly enter the space. Now, I'm going to give you a reason for and a reason against this in a second once we've gone through it. Appearing on the CNBC Squawk Box today, ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood outlined her expectations for the crypto market as US regulations become more clear and financial institutions begin to adopt the asset class. Anyone owning Bitcoin knows this is global, not just a US opportunity, and it's big. It's going to scale from a little more than 1 trillion today to 25 trillion in 2030 as the new world builds out. I think this regulatory breakthrough, talking about the ETFs, is very important to bring institutions online effectively, and I think BlackRock and Coinbase's partnership is going to be very important. I covered this with Brogan probably 14 or 15 months ago, and BlackRock and Coinbase had come together. And one thing that's not mentioned here is that the FTX was also going to be involved. It was BlackRock, FTX, and Coinbase in a kind of triumvirate. Coinbase was going to act with BlackRock to create a simple way for people to buy crypto. We argued at the time that we covered this that it wasn't necessarily to do with providing you with the best opportunity in crypto, but giving them the best opportunity to hold as much crypto as they could. And obviously that gives them more weight and more power. So this was something that BlackRock and Coinbase were obviously doing for themselves under the proviso of helping you get into crypto. Wood offers a unique perspective on the institutional push into crypto. She's been bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum for quite some time, explained Aaron Arnold. I can never pronounce his name, it's a tongue twister. Also, she's a known Coinbase investor and bull. She recently named Solana as another crypto she likes. She's putting her capital where her mouth is. And of course, the big catalyst we're all waiting for is the approval. Now, We're not going to go into any more of this. What I will say, there are two. I'm going to give you the biggest pro and the biggest con of what she said. First of all, and I'm going to make no bones about this, we have been playing in crypto. We are retail investors. We are not really powerhouses when it comes to purchasing power. We are individuals who got into crypto early because we liked the vision of crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, and we've bought in at very cheap prices. But make no bones about it, we are small fry. We are tiny little ants when it comes to the purchasing power of BlackRock, Vanguard, ARK Invest, Fidelity, whatever you want to, other names you want to throw into the hat, Goldman Sachs. We're small fry. We are a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of the world's wealth. Now, yes, we do have a few Bitcoin millionaires. Yes, we have Elon Musk on side. Michael Saylor is on side. We have Jack, previous CEO of Twitter, on side. We have a lot of people on side, but we're small fry. And the argument for Cathie Wood to expect a 25 trillion market cap in 2030 is the fact that once you bring in, even if you bring in 2 or 1 trillion, if you bring in 1 trillion of new money to crypto, then of course the market cap is going to go up. We were at 6 trillion in the last bull run. Where are we going to be in the next bull run? 7, 8, 9 trillion, maybe 10 trillion with ETFs. So we could be at a 10 trillion market cap by 2025. Can we add another 150% to that in 5 more years? Absolutely we can. But you have to remember that what a trillion is. It's a massive amount of money. And even though I was saying that we're small fry and we're looking for these BlackRocks and Fidelities to come in, I believe the BlackRock market cap, or the BlackRock funds under management, is 9 trillion. So BlackRock, if they sold everything they had, they would only be able to put in 9 trillion into crypto. That's never going to happen. It's going to be a small fraction. Potentially BlackRock will be putting in 90 billion, 100 billion into crypto. That's still going to move the price. We're still going to make lots and lots of money out of it. So my detraction from this is that I think to get to 10 trillion will be a massive achievement. But for every trillion we add in market cap, it's going to absolutely take us ripping up trees to get there, because 25 trillion is an awful lot of money. There is inflation to take into account. If inflation is running at 2 or 3% a year, and you inflate crypto by that price, then you're already another 1 or 2 trillion maybe towards it. But still, that only puts us at 12, 13, 14 trillion. We're still a long way to go. So I think she's being slightly over optimistic, but we're 6-7 years away from that. If we get the ETFs, inflation, stocks. Also bear in mind that they are talking about HSBC, for example. What they want to do is they want to create blockchain synthetic gold. So they want to take actual gold and they want to put it onto the blockchain so you can buy and sell and trade basically digital gold. Now, if they do that with gold and stocks and shares, you're going to be at 25 trillion in 3 years' time, because they're going to convert stocks and shares into digitized versions. But that shouldn't count towards this market cap. This 25 trillion market cap should be for crypto only, not digital gold, digital Tesla, digital whatever other stocks you're talking about. So on one hand, easily achievable. On the other hand, very difficult to do. All depends on how much adoption we get. But I think if we can hit 10 trillion in the next bull run, that is a 7 or 8x from where we are now. That would put Bitcoin at $200,000 to $250,000, which some people are expecting. If we can get to 10 trillion by 2025, then potentially we are on target for 25 trillion. So that's the reason why we've come down. The CPI data. This is the bullish news of where the capital markets are potentially looking in terms of crypto. But where are we today with Bitcoin? And Bitcoin has had a very small retracement. We went down below 35,000 yesterday. I think we hit 34.8, something like that. So this morning we're at 35,800. And for those of you just joining, I want to explain one thing. That blue line here, I drew this on Monday before anything actually happened. And I was giving you my scenario of, if we don't move up towards 40,000, where are we likely to go? We are likely to come down on this trajectory. Actually, you know what? It might not have been Monday. It might have been Saturday or Sunday. Might have been Saturday we did this. Anyway, irrespective of that. What's happened is we've come up. We've got this trend line going on, which has been going on now since 24th of October. We've come up above it. And even though we had that correction, we've come straight back into the channel. We still have bearish divergence. We still have bearish divergence. However you want to draw it, we have the RSI coming down and we have the price slowly coming up. It doesn't mean it's going to play out. It hasn't been playing out for the last week and a half, but it's there on the daily. Now let me remove these lines. So again, I think what we could do in the short term is come back up towards 36,500. That would be my next kind of, not goal necessarily, but that would bring us up from this pocket here towards this pocket here. So on the right hand side, you'll see the volume areas. We're currently sitting on top of this volume area here, which is 35,500. This next pocket up here is 36,500. So I think the first thing we need to do is we need to break 36,000. It's a psychological barrier, of course. We need to break 36,000 and then have another run at 36.5, which is the top of this this chain, or this channel, sorry. So that's kind of where we are right now in this range. We've kind of held in this quite nicely apart from the small breakout. And even yesterday, we came down. We only just touched underneath it and we've come back up. So I'm fairly happy we're going to see 36,000 again in the next 1 to 2 days. As long as nothing bearish comes out, we should be looking up towards 36.5 again. And, you know, if I said to you on Tuesday, the 24th of October at 33,000, if I said to you that by the 15th of November we'll be at 36,000, you'd have said, okay, well that's a 10% increase from where we are now. You would bite my hand off. You would bite my hand off. And if in doubt, always remember to zoom out and just see how far we've come. We've come down an awful long way from our all-time high, which is way up here. But you can clearly see now that we are heading in this direction. This is the direction we are heading, and that is because we are only 6 months before the next halving event, which we will increase price slowly into, and then as we get past the halving, that will accelerate until November, December 2025. So we're going to have a very good period now where you're going to see a lot of people claiming that they're right, a lot of people claiming to be the next messiah when it comes to price action. But just know we're moving up. This here, this was the bottom of the bear market. And that's when the price was down at $16,000. And that was November last year. That was the bottom of the bear market. And from 15,000, we're now at 35,000 a year later. We've done well. And if you were holding here, then you deserve a massive pat on the back. You can go back as far as you want, but that was one of the most brutal bear markets you are ever likely to see, Now we're going to move on. We've had enough about Bitcoin. Let's go and have a look at something else. We're going to cover Solana and then Celestia next. Celestia I've not really mentioned on here, so I'll give you a little bit of a background of the coin, and then we're going to look at the price action as best we can because it's new. But first I want to bring your attention to this, and that is somebody predicting that Solana could hit $100. If you're a regular here, you'll know that my target for Solana was $50. And if we hit $50, then all bets were off. That was my target. We didn't just hit it, we absolutely smashed it. And I didn't expect it to happen as soon as it did. There are some rumors about why Solana is pumping so much. And that is to do with the fact that FTX is allowed to sell, I think it's $100 million a week of the assets on their books. Some people believe that the price of Solana is being artificially increased so that FTX can get the most money out of it. They are rumors. They're not anything I necessarily believe in necessarily, but I think it's a possibility. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to drop some boxes. It is 25 minutes into the stream, so I'm going to drop a box. So just give me a couple of seconds to drop this, and then we will move on. Okay, there's one. Let me drop the next one. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Hikran. Good morning, Bitcoin Guru. Good morning, GMSAR. Right, okay. Now, if you missed the start of the stream, I haven't got all of the crypto back that I wanted to get back. So I can't drop you what I would normally drop you. And I think that's going to be the best I can do for today. I haven't got it back yet. There's not been a refund. Maybe tomorrow I'll have it back. Who knows? But I'm glad you're okay, Melissa. I'm glad. Massey Labos is okay. Hikran, congratulations. As I said, I'm sorry it's not as much as normal, but there isn't really anything I can do. So let me crack on and talk about this. So as I said, I was very bullish on Solana. I was very bullish on Solana when it was at $12. Brogan was buying Solana at $12. His Solana has now 5x'd, and he was only buying it in January or February. So Brogan's done exceptionally well out of this dip that they had. Now, whether I believe the rumor about FTX or not, what I can tell you, and we'll look at this when we get to the price action, is we spent an entire year after the FTX collapsed in the doldrums. And from November to November this year, we managed to recover precisely 1 year after the FTX collapsed. So, surviving the close link to the FTX fiasco, Solana makes a stronger comeback and proves that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The SOL price gives more than 4 times the return of Bitcoin, so investors seem more confident than ever. Very nice chart. I take it blue. Blue is Solana, and orange is clearly Bitcoin. Further, at a time when the FTX SOL holding is liquidated, the market absorbs the supply impressively as the vesting schedule ends. Further, the ongoing uptrend crosses the psychological mark of $50, and the Solana price prediction maintains a target of $100. And again, you would probably expect me to be fairly bearish when it comes to these kinds of price predictions. But when it comes to Solana, all bets are off. There's a lot of institutional money behind Solana. So creating a rounding bottom pattern in the 1 week chart, the SOL price trend reflects a solid trend reversal. Further, Solana prices have increased 168% over the last 5 weeks. Currently, the SOL price is at $58. You don't need to worry about that. The RSI, okay. As the uptrend gains momentum and the overall market recovery continues, the chances of the SOL price crossing the $100 mark seems increasingly significant. Moreover, the boosting trading volume increases the uptrend in SOL, possibly above this. Considering the buyers managed to sustain the trend, the bullish rally can surpass the $60 mark to test 75 in the longer term. forget all of that. Let's go and have a look at the chart and see what is what. And again, one other thing I want to mention is, before all of this mini bull run started, we were focusing on a hybrid show where we would look at new coins and look at some news about them. Over the last 4 or 5 weeks, we haven't done that. What we've done is we've tried to focus solely on Bitcoin and the major L1s and major L2s. And that's because that, you know, when the forest is on fire, the last thing you do is sit down and have a cup of tea. You try and fight the fire, you try and cover all of the facts that people want to know about, because this is the time of the market where you should be investing in the top tier coins, because they are the ones that are pumping right now. You know, if you look at the price of Cardano has come up, Solana obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum, these are the more trusted coins that you should be invested in. The small coins are great and they will have their time in the sunlight, but now you need to be looking at this. Now, as the article was saying, we have seen a huge spike from $22 only a month ago. So 1 month ago, we were sitting at $21.50. Today, we're just under $60. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Now, the $100 mark, I looked at this chart before we came on air. We've got a fib level that sits at exactly $101. If you move across, you have an area of resistance way back in March on this. There's nothing else at $100 because we had the $50 mark, which we've covered before. We don't need to go over it again. But the psychological as well as technical targets for coins, and the psychology of it is very simple. If I say to you, right, this bag costs $99 and this bag over here costs $104, the majority of people will buy the $99 bag. And the reason is that the psychology of the $100, the 3-digit number, it comes to play. That's why some people charge sevens, because 7 is seen as a number where you can maximize your return. So charging $77.99 rather than $78.99 or $76.99 gives you the biggest return. So the $100 mark sits on a fib level. And if you look at what Solana has done, it has been sitting at this fib level underneath everything for 8 months. We then broke above it. We sat on top of the moving average as well. We've shot up. We've bounced off this fib level here, which is $63.40. So to get back towards this price, we need to break $64, $63.80. Now, this is the daily chart, and this fib I've drawn is the entire history of Solana. So I'm not looking at any short-term fib. I am looking at where we are. We've come back down. We came down to $52. I think we look like we're about to break $60. He's mentioned $75. I've got nothing on my chart to indicate why $75 would be a target. The one here, we've used $86, $85 as resistance in the past. But I think if we break $63, $64, we could have another parabolic run. The moving average is here. That's going to do this over time. So that's actually a really nicely drawn line. So what we could see happen is we could see something like this, where we come up, maybe we touch the fib again at $63. We retrace, maybe not down as far as that, but if you look, everything I'm drawing sits with the volume area on the right hand side, which I think you can see on the screen. So we could have a retracement, we could come down below $50 if we get rejected at 63. If we do, we'll probably come down and bounce off this moving average, and that then will help us push up towards $100. But either way, I think $100, the way Solana is moving, $100 is not out of the equation. I was trying to see if we had any kind of bearish divergence, and we don't really on the daily. We don't really. It's not there. So I think if we if we draw this and we kind of look at what kind of pattern we're in, and we ignore that little breakout there, we're kind of in this very, very tight range where, you know, we could sit here the same way that Bitcoin's been moving up. We could follow that channel, or we could just break out. All bets are off. We're literally just under $60. So expect big moves from Solana. REM Sleeper, meme coin is the perfect buy right now. I actually hold meme coin, believe it or not. I've got a bag of meme coin and I've staked it on one of the exchanges. I can't mention the name. So that's where we are with Solana. That's what we've done with Bitcoin. We're now going to move on to look at Celestia. Celestia is a different type of blockchain entirely. It's a modular blockchain. Minimize this. So we'll crack through this. Now, it has been on a bit of a pump. Had I done my video on Celestia when I said I was going to do my video on Celestia, then I would have looked like some kind of crypto guru. We'll just update the menu. There we go. So Celestia strikes how this lesser known coin went berserk with 126% price explosion. Celestia TIA has hit an all-time high, making waves in the world of cryptocurrency. It's the first modular blockchain network, which basically means it's a new kind of tech that changes how blockchains are created and used. At the time of writing, it was trading at $5.25, which is 126% up, but it is down a little bit. It has retraced. We're going to go and have a look at the charts in a minute. So the unique method separates different parts of the blockchain process, making it easy to set up individual blockchains. This innovation has pushed Celestia to the forefront of the evolving world of blockchain tech. So it's got a decent market cap, just under 700 million. The network is backed by OKX, recently launched its mainnet and issued an airdrop to over 190,000 people despite having 610,000 recipients. According to Sentiment's data, the trading volume of TIA has demonstrated positive advancements from November the 11th. As of current movement, the trading volume stands at $751 million. That is very decent for a new chain. So let's go and have a look at our own chart, because we do cover some new coins on here, and one of the problems is with doing any kind of price action on a new coin is that it literally doesn't have any data to look at. So if you go back to the 31st, you will see that Celestia is in this upward channel, sorry. We go to the 1 hour, it's the same thing again. Very similar to Solana we've just looked at. It's in this beautiful channel which is moving up, which started at $2.44, it's currently sitting at $6. So it looks very good. There isn't too much in the way of bearish divergence. If you look, it hasn't really got bearish divergence on it. This could move, but remember, it's already at a $700 million market cap. Where is it going to go? Is it going to hit 5 billion? Sorry, I don't think so. Not in the short term, anyway. So although the project looks good, and I have read the website, I've gone through some of the white paper, I like the way that they interact with the different layers. Just be careful. Yesterday, when people were selling Bitcoin to buy into stocks and shares, they were chasing the pump. The last thing you want to do is chase the pump. That will only get you wrecked and lose you money. You should be buying coins down here at these levels. And what you should be doing then is taking profits about now. So if you bought Celestia at under $3, you should be taking profits now. You're up at $6.13. You should be taking out 50, 60%, maybe even 70% of what you put into Celestia. It doesn't matter how high it goes, unless you are married to the coin, you should take some profits now. I say that about anything. A perfect example, I sold Luna at 84 cents. it went to 85 cents, it's now back at 70. I sold Luna at 83 cents. I also sold Crow. I held Crow from 5 cents, 5.5 cents. I took profits at 8. Oh no, I took profits at 9 cents, I think 8.9 cents. The price went up, went over 10 cents, went to 11 cents, and now we're back down at 9 cents. It doesn't matter where the price goes. I've taken my profit because it's good to have cash on the side for any retracements. If you remember what I was saying about Bitcoin, DCAing into Bitcoin means buying it at 35, 38, 33, 36. It takes the risk out of buying anything, stocks, bonds, crypto, it doesn't matter. You're buying into a sequential amount. Each month, each week, each day, you're buying a certain amount, and you will catch the peaks and troughs and get an average price. So although we're going to the moon, and we will go to the moon in the next 2 years, DCAing in is just as important as DCAing out. And I took profit on Luna, I sold a percentage. I took profit on Crow, I sold a percentage. I didn't completely move out of it because I like Crow, for example. I think it's a great utility token. So if you hold Celestia and you bought it, like I said, between 250 and 3, sell, take some profit. It doesn't matter if it goes to $20 tomorrow. Lock in some profits. It's always good, because at some point, what's going to happen with these new coins, especially when it's had such a run up, the chances are it's going to come and retest one of these levels. It's going to come down to $4.50. Look at where its previous level of support and resistance was. It's had resistance here, it broke it. Twice it's had resistance here. Maybe we're going to come down to this level here. Maybe we're going to come down to $4. $4.70, $4. Take some profit, let the coin cool off, and then if you really want to buy back into the coin, buy back in at a slightly lower price. What certainly isn't going to happen with Celestia is it's certainly not going to do that. This is not going to end up being a $20 coin next week. So take some profits, see where the coin is in a week or two's time. If the price has shot up, it doesn't matter, you've locked in your profit. That reduces the risk that you have in this coin, because at this moment in time, it's 2 weeks old. It could do this, it could do this. If you lock a profit in here and you take 40-50% out, you've got the cash on the side to buy down here. If you've missed this top, don't worry about it. There's going to be other opportunities in other coins. Maybe Bitcoin retraces to 30,000. Maybe Ethereum comes back down to $1,700. Taking profit is one of the hardest things to do in crypto, because you will never sell the top. So lock in some profits. Don't worry so much about what the price action is going to do. You're 100% up if you've bought at those prices. Now, we're going to move on a little bit of news before we finish. Only got a couple of minutes left, but we have managed to keep on track for most of the stream. YouTube says creators must disclose AI use or face suspension. This is brilliant news. As you are probably aware, I make YouTube videos, and one of the biggest problems I have with YouTube, especially as a consumer as well, if I'm looking at crypto videos, if I'm doing research, whatever it might be, the one thing that annoys me is coming on and going to a channel and it's saying, YouTube says creators must disclose Gen AI use or face suspension. You can clearly hear it's an AI voice. In fact, about 3 months ago on this very stream, somebody accused me of having or being an AI. Me, of all people, with this voice being AI. Certainly not. So YouTube is being flooded. Rumble is being flooded. TikTok, you name a social media platform, and they are being flooded with fake videos, fake news, AI generated videos and scripts, everything. So as far as I'm concerned, this is brilliant. So Let's have a look. So video streaming social platform YouTube released new community guidelines relating to disclosure of AI used in its content. The platform published a blog on November the 14th saying the updates will have creators on its platform inform their viewers if the content is synthetic. Will require a creator to disclose when they've created, altered or synthetic content that is realistic, including AI tools. An example given in the update was an AI-generated video that realistically depicts something that never happened or the content of a person saying or doing something they didn't do. Yesterday, on this very stream, I told you about a fake Brad Garlinghouse video that is on YouTube telling you that he's going to airdrop 100 million tokens to people who subscribe to XYZ. It had a little code on the screen, QR code. It was fake. It wasn't him. But to the untrained eye, it was him and it was his voice. This is a huge problem for scams because I know myself, people will DM you and say, "Hi, it's Mike from Crypto Warehouse. How's your trading going?" I get it on Twitter. I get it on Telegram. People pretending to be me. And I'm not even a very big streamer. I've only got a few thousand people here, a few thousand people there. Bigger on some platforms than others, but I'm still impersonated by bots. So if that happens to me, think about CZ, think about Vitalik Buterin, Charles Hoskinson, Michael Saylor, Elon Musk. Think about the number of times they're impersonated on a daily basis. And now we've given people AI video and AI voices. It's just going to get worse. I think this is the right thing for YouTube to do. They've come in really early and they're stamping this out because what you don't want to do is you don't want to damage your own platform by allowing this to happen. Personally, I would ban AI videos and AI voices. It would be a carpet ban. I wouldn't allow anything to be published on my platform if it was AI generated. If it's not a human being talking, then you cannot possibly say that that's something you should allow on. Maybe the only caveat is somebody that might have a speech impediment or can't speak, whatever it might be, but they would need to provide evidence of that. The rest of it, they should be bans. As YouTube goes on to point out, you have fake news, you have health, you have lots of things which are just minefields, and YouTube should just stamp all of it out. Suspension from the YouTube partner program or other penalties. I totally agree with this. Multiple celebrities and public figures such as Tom Hanks, Mr. Beast, Gayle King, Jennifer Aniston have battled with deepfake videos of themselves endorsing products. Elon Musk, this time last year, Elon Musk videos were all over YouTube. It was shocking. And the problem is, especially on, we stream on some exchanges. The problem is, if we stream on this platform and we upload a video of a deep fake of Vitalik Buterin saying, go and buy Ethereum Max Plus, and you see that video and you're on an exchange, you're going to immediately go and buy that coin, and the video is fake. And the AI, everything about it is fake. So you have a responsibility as a streamer to not proliferate fake news. And you have, in my opinion, you have a responsibility to be honest and call things out when they're fake, such as the Brad Garlinghouse video. And as I said on yesterday's stream, if you don't believe something you have read and you want somebody to check on it, you send it to us and we will go and have a look for you. We will go and check it out and I will tell you if it's fake or not. Now, before we go any further, just another point. I'm going to do the quiz in about 2 minutes time, so I'm not going to drop any more boxes, but I will be giving away crypto in the quiz, so hang fire for that. This is the last thing I wanted to talk about today, Disney. Now, I've covered Vive, however you want to pronounce it, on this platform before. Vive is an app. You can get it for Android, you can get it for iOS, and you can buy NFT versions of Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, whatever it might be. You can buy them on that platform. So this has been a bit of a shock. Disney unveils NFT pin collection and trading platform with Dapper Labs. Now, I did not expect this to happen because I thought Disney was in partnership with Vive. So in collaboration with Dapper Labs, Disney announces today Disney Pinnacle, an NFT platform enabling fans globally to discover, collect, trade and display digital pins from Disney, Pixar and Star Wars. Each digital pin will be a unique NFT minted on the Flow blockchain. Fans will be able to access the platform via a mobile app where they can build special pin collections and instantly trade with other collectors around the world. It sounds like Veve or Vive. I'll tell you what, we're going to call it Vive. In addition to collecting NFT pins, the app will enable social connections between fans. Disney Pinnacle will be available on the Apple iOS App Store later this year. Fans can join the waitlist today to be among the first to access the platform and start building their digital Disney pin collection. Now, I pan NFTs. I'm not a fan of them. I don't like them. I don't agree with them. I think they're a way for their cash grabs. However, there are exceptions in this world, and those exceptions are collectibles. Baseball cards, Disney, anything by Star Wars, even to some extent Star Trek, those kind of things. So would I buy and hold Disney pins, Disney collectibles? Absolutely I would, because Disney has a global appeal. But the caveat is, why are they doing this with Dapper Labs when they have Veve? Veve has been out for the last 2 years as far as I'm aware. People have got Donald Duck, Iron Man, the Hulk. They've got bronze, gold, platinum versions of them. It looks great, it works, there are drops every week, it's perfect. Why have they gone and done this? Why? The question I always ask is, when are too many NFTs? At what point do we get to saturation point? When it comes to loyalty NFTs, have as many as you want. I've mentioned this before, have special drinks at coffee shops, have special food at restaurants that you can only get if you're a VIP customer that comes with that NFT. I get all of that. Why have Disney now got 2 platforms? Why have they gone with Veve and Dapper? What's the point? Because both are registered, legal, authorized platforms with Disney. So why have Disney gone down another channel? Why have they not stuck with Veve? Why have they not waited for Veve to launch? It makes no sense. Is there going to be a merger? I don't know. But for me, Disney NFTs get a big tick because I just think over time there's going to be a lot of money attached to those projects, especially if you own a Mickey Mouse pin or a Donald Duck pin, or if you own, maybe there's a special film that you particularly like and you want to own that pin. I get all of that. So keep an eye out on that. I like it, and I never normally say that about NFTs, but I like Disney when it comes to NFTs because they are collectibles. Now that is the end of the show for a few of our watchers. So we are going to say goodbye now to one of the platforms that's watching us, and then the ones that are left, we're going to do the quiz. So if you bear with me for 1 second, I will say goodbye to Hidden Agendas, Giuliano, REM Sleeper, whoever's watching over there, goodbye to you. If you are watching on an exchange, don't go anywhere. I'm just going to put the loading screen on for 2 seconds while I close the stream over there down, and then we'll get on. Before I leave, just going to say to you, we are streaming tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a big thumbs up and leave a comment below.